Today I want to show you a simple way you can clean up and restore your cookware. It's truly insane. I just rinsed this out. So this is specifically for stainless steel cookware, aluminum baking sheets. If you have nonstick cookware, then you don't want to use this method. So I'm going to use a little bit of Barkeeper's Friend. Now this stuff is so handy. I usually like a natural solution. You know, I use a lot of baking soda, vinegar, hydrogen peroxide, lemon juice to clean, and those are effective methods, but sometimes you need to bring in the big guns, and keeping some Barkeeper's Friend in your kitchen is so great as a cleanup method, especially for tough messes. So I'm gonna glove up. If you are using any kind of cleaner, you just wanna make sure you protect your hands. You'll be under the water, scrubbing a lot, so we're just gonna glove up. This really doesn't take much. Every time I wear dish gloves, I feel like a supervillain. I am clean chaos. I'm just gonna get the pan wet. Now, one thing I do recommend is if you're cleaning your cookware especially, start on the bottom, start in the inconspicuous spots, because you want to see how the cleaner affects your pans, what it's doing to your pan. So I usually clean the bottom first, the surface that the food's not gonna go in, see how things are working out. Different pans are made out of different materials, they're of different quality, so you definitely want to test it out first. Get my sponge hydrated. You want a gentle scrubber, so I just have a soft sponge here. You want to stay away from steel wool or those metal scrubbers. You just need a little bit of the Barkeeper's Friend and a regular sponge. So I sprinkle this on. There's a little moisture left in your sponge. That'll help create a paste. And you don't even need a lot of pressure. Just lightly work that all around the stained surface. And what you'll see is it starts to break down anything caked on, especially grease and oil tends to create layers and layers on top of your pan. That can make it sticky, can make it smelly, that burnt on oil, that super polymerized oil. I'm already seeing it through this. It's coming clean. So it is one of the most effective cleaners I like to use. Now, since those stains and all that built up oil could be caked on there in layers, I sometimes like to scrub, rinse, see what's left, scrub again, just to get through all those stains, all those spots. And I can see metal coming through. I would avoid definitely any secondhand non-stick pans, Teflon pans. A good stainless steel pan, even if it's not in great condition, can usually be polished up. If you have really set-in stains, you could do the Barkeeper's Friend, spread it on, just let it sit, maybe come back in 5 minutes. That will kind of break down some of that buildup. You can clean it away. So let's see. That's like 10 times better. That was like almost 100%. That is pretty dang good. I always say when you're doing a project that takes a little time, you know, not that this takes a whole ton of time, but I'm always like, put on a podcast, put on a playlist, put on a movie, put on a classic, put on Devil Wears Prada, scrub your pans. It's the first movie that popped up. Going back in, and I just used a little bit of the Barkeeper's Friend. I didn't even reapply. There's enough on this sponge just to hit those spots that I missed. Now, just for comparison, I'm gonna just use some regular dish soap, some regular Dawn soap, and try to get that out of there just with soap. And I'm using the same pressure. Now, it's coming up a little bit, but not much is happening just with the soap. And of course, you can let this sit in there a little bit, let that soap help break down the stain, so it will help clean it, but it's not coming up as effortlessly as if you used just a little bit of that Barkeeper's Friend. So I feel like a lot of people do this and feel like the pan's just ruined and you have to throw it away. It's not really the pan, it's not really you, it's the cleaner. You also might think that the metal is stained or ruined. Well, it's not. It's just that thin layer of oil that has been burnt onto the surface that you just have to scrub away. So you're really not scrubbing the pan, you're just getting all that stuck on stain off of the surface. It just melts it right away. This isn't just for cookware. You can use it all around your kitchen to clean and get rid of stains. You can use it all around your house in the bathroom. And the container itself has lots of suggestions of how to use it. Good for bathrooms, kitchen, cookware, and outdoors. It's super easy to find. It's pretty affordable. And since you only need to clean with a little bit of it, this container usually lasts you a long time. Now they also have a soft cleaner, more gentle liquid cleaner. You can pick this up. It's already hydrated in a paste form, so it's really easy to use, but this stuff is great for tarnish, rust, all that kind of stuff. And once again, anything you're cleaning, one of my biggest cleaning tips is always test a small area before you go crazy on the whole thing. Now the tough areas you will have to keep working, but it's really light, minimal scrubbing. All I'm doing is just moving. Look, you could probably do this with just like one finger. Just do like this. This is definitely one of those secret cleaning ingredients. I feel like it could be called Barkeeper's Secret, not Barkeeper's Friend. And I'm glad this is not just for bars. It's good for anyone. Good enough for a bar, good enough for me. That's all it took. It's truly insane. I just rinsed this out and I'm like, I could sell this for like $30 now that it's all cleaned up. It's like you give somebody this pan and they're like, I'll take it for free, I guess. That looks like a crappy pan. And you give them this and they're like, ooh, I think I'll pay like $50 for that pan. You're like, yep, it's high-end. It's high-end cookware. So mistakes in the kitchen, burning, scorching happens. It's kind of unavoidable, but you can just use simple methods to clean up your cookware, restore it, get it back in great working order. Now, if you have baking pans, especially baking pans you've been using for years, I know I have family members, not calling you out, they have the baking pans like this, but they are like nearly black. You know, they started off as aluminum, silver pans, and now they have that like seasoning built up over time on them. And that actually is okay. Your baking pans do not have to be pristine, but if you do want to get them polished up, maybe there's a tough stain you want to get rid of or something really caked on there. So you can use a little bit of Barkeeper's Friend as well on those pans just to shape them up. But this isn't really necessary. Your baking pans over time are supposed to build up a little layer of that oil, a little layer of that seasoning. You just want to be very gentle and just remove those top few layers maybe. Just get through some of the grime and stuck on bits, but they don't have to be perfect to be good pans. Now, I want to be really specific. Use this on your normal aluminum baking pans. If you have non-stick pans, if you have other types of cookware with any kind of coating on it, you don't want to do this. This could scratch that surface. That's why I recommend in general, just get super durable cookware in your house so you're not worried about how you're cleaning it, what happens to it. These aluminum pans can last you a lifetime if you take care of them. Same thing with stainless steel cookware. You can just polish it up with this cleaning method. So really invest in good quality stuff if you can. Good quality cookware doesn't even take a lot of money. A lot of this stuff is just aluminum sheet pan. It could be just a couple dollars, but if you take care of it, it lasts you a long time. When it comes to what to use at home, ask yourself, what are they using in a restaurant? One thing that's crazy is if I'm looking for like a specialty cooking item, I'll go to a restaurant supply store and they sell this stuff for pennies. I mean pennies on the dollar. They didn't even run sales because everything is already super affordable at restaurant supply stores. So really, if you're looking to free up your cookware, if you're in need of cookware, if you're starting out, maybe at a new house, a new apartment, start at a restaurant supply store. Pick up what they're using. It'll last you a long time. You know, maybe get some pretty tongs, some pretty serviceware, you know, from a cool brand you like, but for the stuff you're gonna beat up, bang around, cook on, restaurant supply is where it's at. Especially aluminum, never put it in the dishwasher. You know, sometimes you'll see stuff that says dishwasher safe, and if it's aluminum, like, you're lying. They just want you to buy another one down the road. So keep aluminum out of the dishwasher and never use steel wool. Something super abrasive, something harder than the aluminum will definitely scratch it, create divots, discolor it. And the more deep scratches that are in your pans, that's where all of this stain, all of this residual oil will nest in there, making it harder to clean and then making it kind of unusable in the end. So using this on your pans, you may get a little bit of dulling, but that's totally fine. That's why I say go light. You don't have to get it perfect. Just that surface stain, the really dark bits you can get up and leave it. Doesn't need to be pristine. As you can see, the stainless steel will clean up way easier than the aluminum, but you don't really have to put a ton of time and energy cleaning up these pans. They do get tarnished, they do get a little beat up, and they're perfectly fine to use. I even just throw some parchment paper, a silicone baking mat over this, and you can keep using it over and over and over again. So you really just need the pan for the structure to cook things. You don't really need the surface all the time. And of course, you could work harder to get this pan pristine, but there's really no point. Just a good surface clean if things get a little dirty, a little tarnished, and over time, you can keep working at it. Maybe the next time you clean it, give it another buff, and over time you'll get through everything. Not every household has this stuff. Maybe you didn't work in the restaurant industry. Maybe you didn't grow up in a house that uses this cleaner. Maybe you've passed it by because it's called Barkeeper's Friend and it looks a little mysterious. This can be a great addition to your cleaning arsenal. I keep it underneath the sink with all my natural cleaners. So this is what I reach for when it comes to those tough messes, especially when it comes to stainless steel and aluminum. So I would reserve your barkeeper's friends when your pans start to get really tarnished. You don't want to use it all the time for your general cleaning. I would just use some soap and water, soft sponge for your normal cleaning. But if you notice that things are getting really dingy, really dirty, and that's when you can give it a maintenance clean with your barkeeper's friend. They have a quote on here that's really funny. Once tried, always used. That kind of is true. Once you clean with it, you'll be like, this stuff works really great for these kind of stains and these kind of messes. So like, why struggle? Why choose the tough option? This stuff might be the secret cleaner you never knew you needed.